All right, so we are looking at exercise 2, using value techniques on basic forms. So we have some really simple basic forms, types of things that we practiced when we talked about value initially, and form. So you're going to use the different value techniques to add value to the basic forms. You can choose your own light source. So pay attention to where there would be gradients and the direction that you are making your marks. So let's start with hatching up here. So we know that this is a cone, and we know that cones are rounded. You could see that at the bottom here. So thinking back to when we did cross contour lines, like the lines around the cone would be curved, showing that this is a curved form here. So I'm going to work in pen for this. Don't do anything in pencil on here, but it's up to you if you want to do, I still have my marker and my Micron pen and my ballpoint pen. So for hatching, I'm going to decide that my light source, draw this really cheesy sun in here, is coming from the left-hand side here. If you want to make yours the same way, that's fine. If you decide you want to have your light source coming from somewhere else, that's cool too. So for hatching, I know my light side is going to be over here and my dark side is going to be on this side of the cone. And if we look back to hatching on the paper you just did, we know that the lines that are more closely put together are darker and fewer lines means lighter. So I'm going to have to apply my lines in a way that that's curved. If I did straight across like this, this would just look like a triangle, but we want it to look like a cone. So I'm gonna start on my right-hand side because that's where it's the darkest, and I'm adding some lines that are curved. Some of them are kind of short because you can see some of them are kind of short here because I want to build up more value on this right side because that's where it's darker. Some of them are a little bit longer because we want to have some kind of like middle gray happening here and some light gray. And we know light gray is just a few lines. So we only want to have a few of them extend the whole way across. So I want to make it darker. On this right-hand side, I'm going to add some more lines over here. So now I have this hatched cone that looks 3D. All right, so we'll take it down here to cross hatching now. So we know that cross hatching is essentially just two sets of hatched lines. They're crossing each other. Just like hatching, the more lines, the darker it is. A lot like this cone, this cylinder is rounded. I'm gonna say this time that my light source is on my right hand side. So the light is hitting my cylinder from the right hand side here, so my left side is gonna be what's dark. So I'm actually gonna start in the same way that I did my cone. I'm gonna start building up some lines that are curved going across my cylinder. I'm gonna add some now that are a little bit shorter because I wanna build up more lines on that left-hand side. I'm adding even more now. So I don't wanna overdo it because I know I have to go back with other lines. So like we were talking about before, the lines for cross hatching can be slanted or they can go left to right, up and down. I've already kind of made the decision that my lines are going left to right on here. So my lines going the other direction are gonna go up and down. I could actually go back with like a third set of lines and make them slanted just to build up my cross hatching even a little bit more. So if the light were hitting the cylinder on the right hand side and on the top, this would all be light as well. So in reality, there's like a cast shadow down here. Like, it's fine, we're not gonna worry about it. All right, pointillism. Let's say for pointillism, I don't know, maybe I'll make my light source kind of down on the right. So it's hitting this side of the cube here. So I'm gonna leave this side pretty light. This side of the cube is gonna be pretty dark. So quite a few dots. And again, I think it's easier to use a marker for this because the dot on the marker is bigger. I mean, you could use a Micron pen, but you don't want to be like tapping that Micron pen constantly on the paper. It just is gonna wear it down pretty quick. So I'm gonna add like say this is like a middle gray, and then I'll make it really dark on top. Like that's like my shadow side since the light is kind of like below it. So I want to have an even tighter like cluster of dots up here on the top. That way I can see that these are two different values. Maybe I'll even add just a couple dots on this side. We'll call this light gray. Doesn't necessarily have to be white. All right, so now we have 3 spheres here. We have scribbling, hatching, and cross hatching. I will let you guys try those on your own. Just know that, I mean, the same thing is gonna happen here. It's up to you. Maybe you want your sun to hit this one at the top, and your bottom is really dark, and it gets lighter as you go up. Remember that this is curved, so you wanna have your shadow down at the bottom be curved, and then, you know, as you travel up. Same thing with the hatching. It doesn't matter where you put your light source. I don't know, maybe it's over here. Just like with the cone, you want to have your hatching be rounded. That's obvious. These are not finished, but you get where I'm going with this. Let's say the cross hatching. I don't know, maybe your sun and your light source is hitting it from the bottom. You also want that cross hatching to be curved as well, to make this look like a sphere. If you do your hatching like this, if you do your cross hatching like this, it's just gonna look like a circle with a grid on it. You've really got to wrap it around and think about cross contour lines. So make sure you upload this when you are done to your portfolio.